Hello, everyone. I am Su Nao, a teacher from Shanghai Publishing and Printing College. Today, I will be teaching you printing materials and their properties. First, let us understand the significance of learning about printing materials. As we know, high-quality and high-efficiency printing systems, formed by high-tech, new processes, and new equipment, require printing and packaging materials with excellent printing performance to match them, so as to produce printing products needed by customers and society. Therefore, it is necessary for us to understand printing materials. Second, let us think about the connections between printing and packaging materials, and various factors involved in the printing and reproduction process, including printing processes, printing machinery, working environment, and materials. Then everyone, think about it. In printing, materials mainly include substrate materials and ink. Well, third, what are the main contents and requirements of learning printing and packaging materials? First, we need to be familiar with the basic composition and structure of printing and packaging materials. Second, we should understand the properties and testing methods of printing and packaging materials. Third, we must master the printing suitability of printing and packaging materials. Finally, we need to understand the common faults of printing and packaging materials in the printing production process and the methods to troubleshoot them. This course is divided into 4 chapters in total. The first part is the introduction, where we will learn about the materials involved in printing. This part is allocated 2 class hours. Next, we will focus on substrate materials and their printing suitability, which are divided into 4 items. First, the composition and structure of printing paper. Second, the properties of printing paper. Third, the specifications and types of printing paper. Finally, an introduction to other substrate materials. In the second part, the ink section, we will learn about the composition and structural system of ink, the properties of printing inks, several common types of printing inks, and a brief introduction to functional inks. In the last part, other printing materials, we will introduce printing rollers and dampening solutions, as well as e-paper and e-ink that are related to the present. The total planned credit hours for this course are 32. Now, let us first understand what substrate materials are. Substrate materials refer to the terminal carrier substances that can accept color-forming substances and express the graphic and text information of the original. In the printing industry, the most commonly used substrate material is paper, followed by plastic films. As you can see, metal products, ceramic products, etc. also belong to substrate materials. The second part is about ink. Please think about what is ink. We can say that in printed matter, the color-forming substance that can vividly express the graphic and text information of the original is ink. Different printing methods, printed matter with different graphic structures, and different substrate materials require different performances of ink. Therefore, we need to understand the composition and properties of ink. As you can see in this picture, ink is a fluid substance with fluidity and a certain color. Next, in addition to the 2 most important materials in the printing process, namely the substrate and ink, there is also the printing plate. What is a printing plate? In traditional printing processes, in analog printing, the intermediate carrier of graphic and text information that can accurately and consistently transfer the graphic and text of the original to the substrate is called a printing plate. Well, everyone can take a look. The most common one in the printing process is the PS plate, which is a metal plate. There is also the engraved relief plate, which is a very ancient type of printing plate. The second is rubber. What is rubber? It is a highly elastic material with reversible deformation. In printing production, it is mainly used for rollers and blankets. You can see in this picture what rollers and blankets are. Why are rollers and blankets used in the printing process? This is a question for you to think about, and we will answer it in the subsequent printing sessions. Well, that's the introduction part. Thank you all.